Carver Park, start trying to raid the projects. Matter of fact, they didn't try, they raided the projects. When I say raided, just like how Indians would raid a fort and Custer them, how they got killed, they raided. They came all the way up in here. They crossed over 115, they crossed over 114, and we held them at 114. One of them was on the roof, called himself being a sniper, and he ended up getting sniped. It's just like a cowboy movie. Yeah, that's right. He came falling off the roof with his gun in his hand, and the homies had him point blank. And the only reason why they let him go, and I want to mention his name, because of Ty V. Clark saved that Crip life because he was already shot and trying to snipe people off the roof. One of the homies creeped on the side of the roof and shot him. And that was the first Crip from Carver Park that got gunned down in Nickerson Garden. The first bounty hunter, original bounty hunter, that lost his life in the streets that I know of was Ray Boyce. He was the first person that lost his life. And I'm not gonna say that he was bounty hunter per se, far as going out gang banging, but that wasn't his name. But that wasn't his game. But what he was bounty hunter at is every day. Every day.
What year was that?
This is
1980, right?
1980. When Ray got killed. That's what happened when Ray got killed.
So no bounty hunters got killed in the 70s?
No bounty hunters died in the 70s. Matter of fact, excuse me, forgive me, I take that back. How can I forget him? He wasn't a bounty hunter, but he was our homeboy, and he was hanging with us before the bounty hunters came out. In 1974, George Henderson, he moved on Avalon area near the Fort Trays, over by Vernon. And he got killed allegedly by their leader, and their leader name was Chili. Never met him, but I always heard of this guy named Chili. Poster had did it, shot him over a radio, and he didn't even gangbang, but he was originally from our crew, from the Green Jacket era. So when the Crips did come out, he never really got into that stuff, Crips and bounty hunters. So when he left and went to the east side on Avalon, that's where he got killed by the Crips. And all the homeboys felt real bad behind that because they know he was more square than anything.
Now, what can you tell us about the killing of Ray Boyce?
Well, Ray Boyce got killed in a drive-by. They came through with a shotgun and hollered out Grape Street. Now, as far as giving you the name or who did it, I'm not gonna go into that right now. But the homies know his name because the reason why we know his name, and if you ever look at this, you'll know the reason why everybody know your name is because your own people gave you up because they had love for Ray. The original Crips let all the original bounty hunters know who killed him. And I can tell you what your name start with. Your name start with an R. Jordan Down Crips wasn't out at the time the Hickory Street Crips was out because that was the first Crip set that ever hit Watts under Tyrone Tate command. But once 73 came in, that's when Pee Wee from the Jordan Down decided to crank up his Crip gang in the Jordan Down. And yes, they was JDC 73. That's when they came out with their clique.
And Pee Wee was considered the founder?
Yes, he was. A little short, stocky guy. He's also in Raymond Washington book. What is called Blue Rage, Black Redemption. Pee Wee is also in that book.
Okay, and what can you tell us about Pee Wee?
Well, from what I know about him personally, I remember an incident happened that it was like a Mexican standoff. They were on one side of the gym field of Markham. They was on Grandy side, and we was on Compton Avenue side. So we decided to close the playing position by crossing the field of Markham. So they wouldn't hit the gate on the horticulture side. They would stay right on Grandy. They would never come across to the field. And I'm talking about the original Crips of Jordan Down. They would not come across to the Markham field to fight us. So we would walk all the way to Grandy and stop right at the fence line. We would not hit the fence, but we would stop at the fence line and have a Mexican standoff. And out of nowhere, here come Pee Wee. I didn't know him as Pee Wee at the time. I just knew this big, short black guy, looked like a football player. He come rushing up the line, hollering out, JDC, cuz JDC. And I'm wondering, where this guy come from? Now he's trying to pump up his crew to rush us, I guess. But wasn't nobody rushing us. So out of nowhere, while we got the fence line between us, my homeboy, Andrew Sparks, Big A, come out of nowhere. Superhero. And he hit the fence with 1 foot and he was over just like that. One dash. And him and Pee Wee landed right in front of each other. And Pee Wee looked at him and the first thing he said was, Andrew! And grabbed to hug him and greet him for the simple fact because he may be the leader of the Jordan Down Crips, but he also know who Andrew Sparks is also.
But who's Andrew Sparks?
Andrew Sparks is what I call my #1 road dog. No matter what nobody may say, this guy right here, he is a reckon to be dealt with. And what I'm talking about, hey, he don't care about no police. He don't care about no Crips. He don't care about anything that's going against Bounty Hunter. If you're going against Bounty Hunter, he's going to be on the front line. The Power Rule had LB, we had Joe Barker and Andrew Sparks. During the years of '73, my homeboys really never, in their hearts, wanted to have no beef with Jordan Down because of the green jacket situation. They really never wanted, but they were giving the PJs and Carver Park, they was giving them their battle. We was serving them. But far as wanting to just straight shoot up the Jordan Down Crips, no, that wasn't in our heart. But far as fighting them or whatever, that was in our heart to fight for sure. We were fighting them without a doubt.
Because there's close ties going back to the green jacket days between both these neighborhoods, right?
Precisely. We went to Markham together. That's why. Markham was our foundation. But then when the Crips start, how can I say, flexing their muscle a little bit, that's, I guess, when they decided to bend. You know, we didn't bend, they bend. We were anti-Crips before we was even bounty hunters. Now, the Jordan Down was also anti-Crips before, you know what I'm saying, they became Crips. And I want to tell you something. This is a true fact. You have Arthur Day, which is Big Honcho. You have Wayne Day, which is Baby Honcho. You have Jesse Day, which is his square brother. Me and him, we the same age. And you have Philip Day, which is a loose cannon. And you had their baby brother, rest in peace, Crow, Kenny Day. Okay? Wayne Dave, at that time, was with us when the Bounty Hunters first came out. And there was no Crips in Watts. Wayne Dave was with us, and we was fighting the east side at that time, Mac Thomas. So I guess he probably heard that Mac had got into it with Alfred and Ronald and Donald, so maybe he wanted to put his 2 cents in also. So how did he do it? He came to the Bounty Hunters, started hanging out with us, and he actually knocked somebody out over off of Lancet and Central, right there at the WLCAC. And Wayne was, how can I say, he was pretty reputable far as with his hands and everything. So I have nothing bad to say about Wayne, but I will say this. He know and I know that when the Bounty Hunters first came out, he rolled with us first.
Now you identified him as Little Honcho.
Baby Honcho.
But even though he goes by Big Honcho now.
Yes, he go by Big Honcho now. See, he has a brother named Arthur. Arthur was more reputable than him, that people don't even give him his props. Because Arthur became Grandy with Mac Thomas. And that's when Wayne became Grandy, because his brother became Grandy. But before he was Grandy, he was pro bounty hunter. When there's more numbers and the rumors of war is about to come at you, just like the French dealing with Germany. Some people just don't want to fight. They rather switch than fight. But the bounty hunters, my homeboys rather fight than switch.
Okay, so now the Jordan Crips become the Grape Street Crips. A couple years later, I think what, 75 maybe?
No, they came out in 77.
Okay.
And that was Crow. That's Wayne Dave's baby brother, Kenny Crow. He started that. And I had heard the Lavender brother, Jimmy, made a statement about that. Jimmy said that Honcho, Big Honcho, Arthur, allegedly came over to the Nickerson garden and had a little problem verbally or physically or whatever. And that right there was started Grape Street, which is not true. And how would I know? Because I'm not telling you something that I heard or that I read. I'm telling you something that, guess what? You figure it out. But anyway, what had happened was Everyone knows that WVG stands for Watts, Varrio, Grape Street. That is a Mexican gang, always have been a Mexican gang. Now, why did they turn Grape Street Crips? It's because the Grape Street Mexicans and the Jordan Down Crips got shot up together by the bounty hunters. And within, I would say, months, they became Grape Street Crips. They unified. That's what happened.
Thanks for watching StreetGangs.com. Please like and share the video you just watched and leave a comment below to tell us what you think. You can also watch 2 of our previous episodes to the right. Please visit the link to our Patreon page and support our campaign. And don't forget to subscribe.